Good afternoon. This is Ronnie G again. I had put this up on my profile. Is that ICE? This is what the MAGA Republicans in the House and the United States Senate and the Supreme and the President signed into law in that big beautiful bill that he passed. Why he cut back on funding for the Board of Education. He cut back on free lunches for low-income kids. He cut and canceled grants that was supposed to go to minority students that got the grade, but they just didn't have the resources. He did all of this so he can give and create his own army to attack us. This is what our House of Representatives members did. This is what our United States Senate did. And this is what our current president signed into law. Now, just remember who we already paying. The state is already paying for the police force in their states. They got police to do this. They have National Guard troops that's under the governor of the state. The governor can call up the National Guard if the crime thing is so widespread. The governor has got the authority to activate the National Guard. Right? So we got the police, we got the National Guard in each state that the state can activate. We got the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. We got the Coast Guard, and we got the National Guard. And this is what the Republican does in that big, beautiful bill. They cut Medicaid. That people that are disabled, that can't afford it, won't be able to get the care they need for their loved one after they done put in 30, 40, 50 years of work. It cut back on free lunches for low-income kids. They want them to starve. They cut back on grants to help colleges so they can fund minorities, so they can get a good education, so they can get a better job and become a better taxpayer. He took all that money from them and took people straight out of high school to become ICE agents and gave them $50,000 bonus of taxpayer money. Now, what is he going to do with these ICE agents and the border agent? He going to send them into democratic cities to attack and abuse and kill the American people. Think about this now. Just think about how low down you is. How hateful you are. Each state have their own police force. Each city have their own police force. And the governor can call up the National Guard in an emergency. These no good prejudiced white people in the House and the Senate and the president and the vice president. We already paying for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine, the National Guard, the Coast Guard, the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Defense, Homeland Security. We already paying their salary. And look what these racist, prejudiced white people did. The Republican passing that big, beautiful bill, a $75 billion budget for ICE. Just think about this now. If Trump fulfills what the president Republican gave him in that big, beautiful bill, where he gonna hurt education. He gonna hurt underprivileged kids from being able to learn because they hungry. He gonna hurt the elderly that won't be able to go to a nursing home, that's gonna be able to lay in the street and die because Trump cut Medicaid, so you can't pay. The nursing home, in order to pay their salary and pay their rent and everything, they need money coming in. So they ain't gonna have no choice but to throw the people out on the street. Yo, low down MAGA Republican knew all of this. They knew that every state has got their own state police. Every city has got their own police force. Every governor can call up the National Guard. And those no good Republicans, you know what that to do? To overthrow the Constitution. The Republican Party is the one that's supposed to protect the Constitution. Gave a no good president like Donald Trump $75 billion budget just for ICE. Bigger than almost every military on earth. Let me tell you that again. The Republican passed that big, beautiful bill. A $75 billion budget for ICE to overthrow the Constitution. Bigger than almost every military on earth. They are deploying thousands of poorly vetted agents. Just think about that now. Just think about how low down they is, American people. Just think about how serious that those president Republicans that's in Congress and in the Supreme Court, the MAGA, that's supposed to be protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign or domestic. And all Trump and them care about is white folks. They ain't going after white folks. They ain't going after Canada, the people from Canada. They ain't going after the people from Poland. They ain't going after the people from UK. They going after black and brown people. And they gave them $75 billion to do it. To take away American citizen right, no matter what color you are. Told Trump that he need to build his own personal military that's going to be only loyal to him. His military is going to be bigger than almost every military on earth. Trump didn't care about no black and brown people. Trump don't care nothing about no white people that help support black and brown people. I'm sick and tired of the lies. I'm sick and tired of all the weak white people that want to say they ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm going to tell you what Jesus said. Jesus said, if you not with me, you against me. You may not personally decide to do it. But you elected Mike Johnson and Toomey in the Senate to make these things a law. So you're not innocent. You just as guilty as they is. I'm going to repeat again. Jesus said, if you ain't with righteousness, if you ain't with fairness, if you ain't with justice, then you got to be against it. You got to be against it. Because you're not supporting it because Donald Trump is still president out of all the laws that Donald Trump broke. All the money that Donald Trump is using. Did you see in Minneapolis right after Renee got shot? They went to the high school and terrorized the kids. And maced the kids at the high school. Go look at the video in Minneapolis, how the kids are screaming and hollering. And how ICE is terrorizing the kids in the school. You did it. You're the one that voted for a traitor against the country that tried to overthrow the government. You the one that voted for Mike Johnson to strip away the free lunch program, the strip away grants to low income student that's qualified. You're the one that voted for the people that gave a renegade president $75 billion to try to overthrow the Constitution. You, the 90 million that didn't vote, you the one, because everybody know that if you didn't vote for Kamala Harris, even though you didn't vote it, you voted for Trump. Because if that 90 million people would have voted and not voted for Trump, Kamala Harris be the president right now. You just as guilty. God ain't having no mercy right now on these evil people. Why would someone chase somebody into a school with masks on and you scaring these kids half to death with our tax dollars, with the black and brown people tax dollars? God don't have no mercy for nobody like that. And if God don't have no mercy for nobody like that, guess what? I don't have no mercy for nobody like that. I'm going to tell you what my apostle told me in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. My apostle Paul told me that I need to imitate him as he imitate Christ. If you ain't imitating Christ and you ain't showing love and you ain't showing compassion and you ain't showing mercy and you ain't building up the one that's torn down, if you ain't strengthening the one that's weak, if Jesus is against you and Jesus is love, if my apostle is against you, I'm against you too. All you are lying hypocrites that jealous of minorities. Because we rose up even though you have a foot around our neck. We still rose up and became 90% of the American population. In less than 25 years from now, we're going to be the majority in the United States of America. You don't get there. You don't get that status without God being with us. American people, I don't care what race you are, but when you use your race to try to oppress and to put down and to abuse my sister and brother, no matter what race they is, no matter what their economic situation is. You against God, you against Christ, you against my apostle Paul, and you against me. Tell me this. Why would you give a man that's been convicted of 34 felonies, a criminal, a man that's been convicted of going into a department store while a woman was going in the dressing room to change clothes, to go in that dressing room and pin her up against the wall and penetrate her with his finger? That's what he got to pay her over $100 million for right now. He was convicted. And you still said, that's my man. He was twice impeached. You still say, that's my man. He was convicted of 34 felonies. That's my man. His company was convicted of fraud and his family. He done filed bankruptcy 6 times. Trump wine out of business. Trump cheese out of business. Trump steak out of business. Trump University out of business. And you said that that's my man. You are the biggest liar and frauds that in my 68 years that I have ever seen. Shame on you. Shame on you. Not because the people is turning against you and trying to overthrow the government. Not because the people are not paying their taxes. Not because the people is not obeying the law. That's always going to be criminal. The Bible said, and the poor is going to be with you always, even to the end of the world. You did it because of white supremacy. You did it because of hate. And you know when you hate somebody just because they raised or what sex they are or where they came from, that lets you know right there that you hate yourself. And anybody that hate themselves is very dangerous. Those prejudiced white people right now in America is very dangerous. They gave a no-good prejudiced president $75 billion in the budget for ICE, bigger than almost every military on earth. They have deployed thousands of poorly vetted agents just to go around and terrorize the American people. They go into churches, they go into school, they hanging out outside of courthouses, giving people straight out of high school a $50,000 bonus just to destroy people that's not white and to destroy the Constitution so they can take the rights away from the black and brown people. You may be sitting on the sideline acting like you ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm here to let you know that you do got something to do with it. Anybody that says that they know God, but they not willing to stand up for God's commandment, those people is a liar. There is no way that God would have gave a no good man that's a convicted felon. There's no way he would have put them as a leader over the Constitution of the United States that he don't even believe in. When he was sworn in, his wife was standing right there with the Bible, and he wouldn't even put his hand on the Bible. That lets you know who he is. But you still voted for it, and you still support him. Sign your own death warrant. Put your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren at war. Just because you jealous of black and brown people. I can understand if they was going against the laws. I can understand if they was going against the Constitution. But they're not. They just not white. Thank you.